What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to talk about the Bionic Avengers. We are going to take a second look on this team, also some ISO 8 recommendations, T4, something that maybe was overlooked in the past, and other things that were not overlooked but we found out that were not as great. And we are going to also take a look at the performance of this team in the Doom 3 raids and see which characters you have to focus on in order to be as successful as possible with this team. So, as always, if you like the information on this video, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content and make sure you smash that like button. Okay, so let's get started. First, we are going to take a look at my infographic. Then we are going to take a look at the gameplay, and then finally we'll take a look at my team and which gear T4s and so on they have, and which I regret and which things I would change about them. So let's get started. Okay, so let's just take a quick look to my infographic. You can find this on my Discord, but this is the first impressions infographic. We're going to change this in the future, and we are just going to breeze through a few points here. Okay, so for a Deadlock, I still think that he should be the character where you invest the most gear and red stars on. And in terms of the T4s, I think all the T4s are decent except the basic. The basic is 100% trash. I will explain you how it works. So whenever you do the basic, it has two activations. It has the first activation, which can crit and give you no energy. And then the second activation is the one that crits and gives you energy. If your entire team is already at full energy, this ability will give you 0 energy, providing 0 healing. So this ability is 100% trash. In terms of the ISO 8, if you have him at 5 L stars, 5 red stars or higher, Raider is a good option. If you don't, if you have him below 5 L stars, 5 red stars, then Fortifier is going to be the best option, especially if you are doing the Doom 3 node number 2. So the node that has Zemo, it's going to be very important that you have the Fortifier ISO 8 in case you want to survive and have a more consistent experience. The damage output of Deadlock is not important. What is important is his passive that increases the damage every turn he has. So the longer he's alive, and therefore this is why you are going to use the Fortifier ISO 8, the longer he's alive, the longer is going to activate his passive and the more damage the entire team will provide. So if you have him above 5 L stars, 5 red stars, you can go with the Raider. If you don't, you should go with a Fortifier for his increasing his survivability. Now in terms of Hulkbuster, I'm going to increase the recommendations on all T4s by 1. I think the T4s are a lot better than this is representing, especially these two, because they work with the non-Bionic Avengers characters, and that's going to be extremely important, especially if you are considering taking this character to Dark Dimension 5. He's still one of the characters that you should invest in the most, in red stars and also in gear. He uses the same gear as She-Hulk, the same centerpiece unique, but I think it's fine. So far it's the only character that uses is She-Hulk and Hulkbuster, and because you are going to use this character for the Death Horsemen, I think it's a good investment. ISO 8 Striker is still the best option for this character. In terms of vision, the T4s, I think they are fine. In terms of the ISO 8, I changed it from Striker to Healer because the team didn't have enough sustain. And the reason why I changed from Striker to Healer, it's not by increasing the healing of the energy that she gives. It's not because of her passive. It's because on turn she will apply regenerations to the allies and also minor healing. So that's the reason why. Now in terms of gearing up, 5 L stars, 5 red stars, that's fine. You don't need higher red stars than 5. In terms of gearing, you can take her to gear T16 because, as you can see, centerpiece unique is only shared by Dagger, and Dagger, she's not a Horseman character, and she's even skippable to a degree on raids, so you can definitely focus or prioritize V-Vision. In terms of Iron Man, I've been using his basic quite often, so we might increase the value of the T4 here. And the ultimate, I still think the damage is not relevant enough because it's not piercing damage. The special and the passive is where you should focus your T4s on. And in terms of ISO 8, Raider is still the best option for Iron Man. Now, in terms of gearing up, if you have him at 7 yellow stars, 5 red stars, that's good enough. You don't need to get him higher than that. In terms of gear, and that's also for vision, both of them use gamma radiation, and this is also used by Abomination and Hulk. Both of them are Horseman characters, so you cannot invest on Iron Man or Vision because Hulk and Abomination should have the priority. Now, in terms of the T-Force for Vision, I think those are fine. Maybe this one a little bit higher. I use this ability quite often, and the additional energy is very, very useful. So V-Vision can use their abilities more often, especially the ultimate. In terms of the passive, I still think the passive is pretty much useless. There is only one situation where this is good, but overall it's not the case. If it would give like safeguard and immunity on spawn, I would say definitely yes, but because it's not the case, then we're going to skip. Now, in terms of isolate for Vision, you might consider Skirmisher for him rather than Raider. As I mentioned, the damage comes from Deadlock being alive. As long as Deadlock is alive, all your other characters are going to do tons and tons of damage. So the damage from Vision with Raider, it's not important. What might be important is to have him as a Skirmisher for you to have a guaranteed vulnerability on the enemies, so after you can capitalize on that with Hulkbuster. Now, in terms of the position of the team, as you guys know, we have to mirror what we have here. So we have Hulkbuster, Vision, Deadlock, V-Vision, and Iron Man. That's going to be the best position for you to don't have bugs between Hulkbuster and V-Vision. Now, let's take a look at the gameplay and see this team in action and see how well they are going to perform. Okay, so here we go, and this is on Doom difficulty 3, and my characters, they are around level 88. I think I might have one or two at level 89, but they are not maxed out. And when you go from difficulty 3 to difficulty 4, make sure you have all your characters at level 90, otherwise you're gonna have some problems of consistency. And like I said, if you want to increase the consistency, change the ISO weight of Deadlock to Fortifier, so you'll always have the minor defense up and additional barrier. Okay, so you can see that you spam most of the abilities, but you want to capitalize on the vulnerabilities that you apply on the enemies to have the most amount of barrier. And like this team is pretty much played on auto, you just have to focus the right characters. Now, here there is actually a secret. The secret is to focus as fast as possible and get rid of her, of Spider-Woman. As soon as Spider-Woman drops, you want to ability block her and you want to completely destroy her as fast as possible. She is the one that causes the most problems. If she does her special ability to you and applies heal block to everyone, that's going to be extremely problematic whenever you go from the first node to the second node. So you should try to focus as much damage as possible on her. There, instead of using the ultimate, you could use the basic to apply defense down to her. That's a good option. And that's it. That's the biggest secret here. You just want to spam all your abilities. As soon as Spider-Woman is gone, you are fine. Then you want to apply blind to Nico Minoru. She's the other second priority character. And in terms of Wong, just slap him as much as you can. It's not super important. You can ability block him constantly so he doesn't bounce. And that's pretty much it. He will die with the splash damage that comes from attacking the other enemies. Okay, so now we have Colossus and Magic. You can easily get rid of these guys. This Colossus, for some reason, doesn't have a lot of resistance because he doesn't spawn with defense up for reasons. And you just have to slap him and that's it. So you can see right here that we are destroying this team fairly easy. Now you can see that we are going to use the basic. It crits, but it gives 0 energy because we don't have both abilities with max energy. We need both abilities with max energy for the basic of Deadlock to work. So I really wish they would fix the basic ability, because like this ability is 100% trash. You need both abilities, max energy. You need all other characters to don't have energy, and you need to crit on the second ability. So if the first ability triggers and it crits and kills the enemy, then you don't get any energy. So it's very messed up, and I really hope they fix this because right now it's garbage. Okay, so that was the first node. As you saw, If you focus on Spider-Woman and Nico Minoru, you'll have a very easy time. From the first wave, the priority character is going to be Strange Supreme. Yes, that Strange Supreme is the one that has to go first. Okay, so second node, no healing. Once again, if you are doing difficulty 4, you might want to change the ISO weight from Deadlock, from Raider to Fortifier for the additional barrier, and also for the minor defense up. Reduces 25% of the damage instead of 50%, because the defense up gets removed here. So that will protect you from the second attacks after Zemo and also after Silver Surfer. Okay, so here in terms of priority characters we have 2, which is Kitty Pryde right here and Beast. So what you want to do with Kitty Pryde is you want to lower Beast as much as possible, so she applies the evades to Beast or to Iceman. You want to, once again, you want Kitty Pryde to be as high as possible when compared to other Astonishing X-Men, so they get the evades and she gets none. So after that you just want to destroy her, and like this you will not get any evades, so it's gonna be a free win for you. As soon as Kitty Pryde is gone, you are going to have a very easy time dealing with other characters. So she died with a Blitz. Now we are going to ability block Bishop. We don't want him to do too much damage to us, and you can see like this we are able to apply vulnerabilities to multiple characters, and like these we also have options. So with Hulkbuster you want to apply offense down to as many characters as possible, one of them being Iceman. You want Iceman to have offense down or blind to make sure that he doesn't apply slow to your characters. And as soon as you can, you want to focus on Beast. Use the basics of Hulkbuster and of Iron Man to have these double tap or triple tap in order to apply defense down to Beast and get rid of him. So here Deadlock with his ultimate, applying ability block to Iceman. It is not necessary, but at this point we are just clearing up. So let's move on. And I think the basic or the, I think it's the basic with V-Vision that gives energy. So you want to get as much energy going as possible to recover all the abilities. Now here, let me see the basic. We are going to apply defense down to everyone. And I wanted to get rid of Zemo before he does the second attack. We don't need any additional damage. So here, once again, we have full energy on the special, but it's not going to work. Then the basic critted on the first activation, so that's also not going to give any energy. So the basic attack of Deadlock is 100% garbage. It's a bait for you to waste your T-Force, and I did it because science, I guess. But I don't know, I just changed the shit. It's so bad. It's so convoluted. If you need a PhD to understand the events that we have on Marvel Strike Force, you also need a PhD or a doctorate to understand these basic attacks. They are so garbage. Okay, so we are going to continue with the same team. We are never going to heal. Yes, thank you. We are never going to heal, and this is why the ISO weight changing from V-Vision might be important, because if you can save your heals from these nodes, then you can use them in other nodes, like the muted nodes, the bio nodes, that people consider a little bit more difficult. Okay, so Deadlock, we are going to use the special offensive for everyone, big damage on everyone, and you want to apply ability block to Dr. Doom as fast as possible. That's your main priority. After that, you want to get rid of Jubilee, blind her, do whatever you want to her. Just make sure that she doesn't blind your characters, because if she does, you are going to be in big trouble. Now, after you ability block Doom, after you blind Jubilee, you want to destroy Beast. So we are going to use the Striker ISO weight to do just that. Now she blinded her abilities. She also had ability block, but that's fine because she was blinded. The blind is really what is most important. So even if she doesn't have ability block and she's going to do her ultimate on your face, you can still avoid it. Okay, so Dr. Doom there with the big damage against Hulkbuster. If you are unlucky and Dr. Doom crits with his basic, he can actually destroy your Hulkbuster. And this is why it's going to be important to invest a little bit of gear on Hulkbuster. And then that's it. So Beast is gone, Jubilee is gone. After that, you just have to focus on blinding and applying offense down to Echo, and getting rid of Dazzler, of course. Dazzler extremely important. She's gonna flip all those negative effects into positive effects, and you will want none of that. Okay, so at this point we have Doctor Doom, Ultron, and Miss Marvel. None of these characters is relevant. We are just gonna slap them as much as possible. And Ultron, you can apply ability block to him just to delay the minions, or you can use the minions to then do the special with Vision. And if you kill one of those minions, it's gonna apply ability block to everyone around the place where the minion was. But it's not super important at this point. If you reach this part, you just want to use all your abilities. It's the last node, it's the last wave. You can just spam cooldowns, and you're going to destroy everything, and you don't need these characters for anything else. So you're good to go. You can go early on for Miss Marvel, since she is going to taunt, and that can be annoying. You can also apply ability block to Kate Bishop, so she doesn't flip your positive effects into negative effects. But as you guys know, Kate Bishop, she has very low amount of health, so we are going to easily destroy her. Finally, we have Bishop, we have 2 minutes left, and there we go. So as you can see, this team completely wrecks these enemies. And when you go from difficulty 3 to difficulty 4, once again, you want to do some minor tweaks to the ISO weight in order to have a more consistent experience, and you don't have to waste heals all the time. Okay, so just to finish the video, let's take a quick overlook over my team. So once again, the position you want to have, it can be like this. You can have Vision here in the middle or on this position. It's pretty much the same. What you want is Deadlock always next to Vision, and this is because of the speed of the characters. It's very important, the position of the characters, because of their speed, because of the energy flow. So we have Hulkbuster, we have Deadlock, we have Vision, V-Vision, Iron Man. In terms of ISO weights, we have Raider, Healer, Skirmisher, this one Raider, if you have him at 5 yellow stars or above. Otherwise, you want to use Fortifier on him, or if you are doing difficulty 4 or 5. Then we have Striker on Hulkbuster. Now, in terms of T4s, once again, the ones I applied on this guy, I did all of them except the basic, but you can also do the basic. I think it's unnecessary for difficulty 3, might be necessary for difficulty 4. This one's special ultimate must have. This one is a 100% bait, 100% trash, as I explained before. This one is okay, nothing special about it. Once again, if you have it at 5 yellow stars and 5 red stars, it's something to consider. In terms of Vision, basic, one unnecessary. The basic unnecessary or passive unnecessary. What you want is the special and the ultimate. Then we are going to take a look at V-Vision. Once again, passive and ultimate, basic and special, not super important. And finally, we have Iron Man, the man of the hour, and you want to do the special and the passive. And as I mentioned before, I'm considering doing the basic because I use it more often than I was expecting to do. But it's also not necessary. So yeah, guys. That's going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. A second look on the Bionic Avengers, priority characters for the Doom 3 raids, ISO weight tweaks that you can do in order to be more successful on your journey to Doom 3, whether it is 3.3 or 3.4 or even 3.5 whenever we get there. These are the things that you need to focus on in order to be as successful as possible on with the Bionic Avengers. So yeah, guys, that's going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. And if you found the video helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content. And I will catch you guys later.